Tonight on the tonight on the super important show, get plastered on cheese vodka if you dare. We long to sleep in a sunbeam just like a cat, and we are very adulty as we decide whether or not we'd rather be called Seymour Cox, Erection, or Bend Over, because we are very much adults, and we do business things, and we have important meetings. We are very adult. But that's just half of what's going to happen. I am your host, Justin Diodato, and to get through all of these crazy things, I have two amazing co-hosts that are going to be with me to go through it. So first up, she's a Dorothy to my Toto. It's Heather Jules Booth. How are you doing, Heather Jules Booth?
I am doing great. That might be my favorite intro that you've given me yet.
I was trying to find one that was more Toto the band related, and I realized that they are all sexual outside of Africa, and I didn't want Chris Booth to beat me up.
It's great. I love it.
And our next guest, it may be hot outside, but she's always super cool. Put your internet hands together for Florence Friebe. How are you doing, Florence?
I'm so cold. I'm always just cold. It doesn't matter.
I mean it in a good way. I mean you're cool. Not that you're cold. I don't mean in a bad way.
I took it there. I went from cool to cold, just straight up cold. People want to hug me in the heat. It's very weird. I really need to shoo them off of me. It's getting to be much. I'm also a little worried about my circulation. I think that's a bad sign when you're that cold. No, just.
Florence, tell people about you. Who are you? What's your deal?
Hi, Joy. Oh, I love this. What's my deal? I'm Florence Friebe. I'm a performer in New York City. I'm trying to think of it as not as the things I do, because I feel like every performer's got a list. But I will say I'm a traveler. I'm kind of from everywhere. I've lived many lives, and I'm happy to be improvising as much as I am in New York. And right now I'm going back to the things I do, but I am doing a short play that I'm very excited about right now. I'm starting to work on that. So just got things bubbling up that I really love. That's all. That's it.
I was Facebook stalking you earlier today to find out interesting information about you. And I did see that I was like, were you in the army or an army kid or something like that? Because I was like, you were all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I've lived many lives. So no, I'm half Malaysian, half German. So growing up, I have family in Australia, Malaysia, Germany, and then I've just always been a traveler. So I spent a couple of months traveling Australia. I just kind of quit all 2 jobs I had, sold the car, got rid of everything in the apartment with my ex at the time. And then we just traveled Australia, New Zealand. And then I did that again after, in college, I took a semester off and I just nannied for a whole summer, saved everything up. And then I just went all throughout Europe. So I think I've always been somebody where I'm it's very important to see the world. And also I did all of that before I hunkered down in New York City.
Okay, yeah.
Where you can't afford to travel as well.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, Heather, do you want to get us into our first story? Do you want to get us into our
Yes, absolutely.
our World You Crazy?
World You Crazy. I had to know Dustin was going to give me this story when I saw the headline. There's a new video game called Stray, the video game you play as a cat. And this is a video game it's a new sci-fi video game released by Blue 12 Studio, and it's available for PC and PlayStation 4 and 5 users and PlayStation Plus Extra. I just plugged them and didn't mean to. Just what we got there. You play a game as a stray ginger cat, which is dear to my heart as somebody who has a ginger cat. And it says you go through everyday cat activities like knocking things over, getting into rooms, and then action sequences. God. Right. And then apparently a drone joins you. And there's a drone named B12, not BB8, but B12 joins. And then you go on adventures together.
I'm just imagining a table full of glasses and the cat's just just trying to just push it off
very slowly.
I think it does. Do you guys want to watch? Do you guys want to watch the trailer?
Yes,
absolutely. Before we get too far into this.
It.
All right, there we go. It's pretty much what you're referencing, except post-apocalyptic.
Wait, get out. real cat is voiced by a real cat.
A pretty like
Oh my
well done
God.
cat.
Oh my God, it's running away from lasers. Oh, I can't handle this. This is too stressful for me. I care too much about the cat. No, that there's actual danger. Oh, this cat's terrifying. Like, meow. Stray. Wow. Okay. This is a new game. This is a brand new
Apparently
game.
this
Yeah.
just came out because I have been seeing it on my timeline. All my like cat friends are like, "Have you played Stray yet? Have you got to play Stray?" And like I'm seeing it on the rescue groups I follow. They're all like, "I'm playing Stray. I like Stray." But I've seen a couple of comments and
The
then,
rescue group.
yeah, right. And I've seen a couple of comments that the reason I haven't like, oh, look at this Meow Parlor in New York did a launch party. Julia, maybe you've heard more about it. So I heard a couple of people who commented, they were like, it's super fun, it's really great, and then it gets dark. And the second I heard that, I was like, nope, I cannot do anything if
I'm
it's
out.
dark and involves the cats. Florence, I had a suspicion. I see your Instagram content. I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure Florence and I are
No.
gonna be on the same page. Where we're
Literally,
like, nope.
today-
What?
Today I had posted on my stories, people who meow back to their cats are like all green flags.
Yes. Yes. That's
I'm
true.
like,
That's true.
Yeah. I can't handle
says,
that.
Yeah, Julia says you have to stay alive as the cat. Yeah. That would
Word.
terrify me,
No.
right? I just want to knock things over. I just want to walk around. knocking
Stressful.
things
I
over.
know.
Yeah.
Give me mundane cat activities.
Yes.
Like very mundane.
Just like cute
yeah.
cat games where the cats are just laying down. You'd be like,
Yeah,
pet
yeah,
the
yeah.
cat. Or
So-
you and the
Yeah,
robot
turn
go
the
on
sync on.
adventures.
Turn the sync on just a
Oh my
little
gosh,
bit,
turn
just
it
to
on
like.
just a little bit, just to see.
I
Yeah.
know cats, and
Yeah.
they need to get me on this design. I need to design
Same.
this game.
Same.
I'm,
Same.
I'm
mean-
gonna design the leisurely version.
I like, yeah, you can see, they should have two versions, like action adventure and then stress free for cat owners.
Stress free. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those allergic.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You call it the
Right, okay.
allergy version.
So,
Yeah, the allergy
no
version.
allergies.
Allergy game.
so I'll be honest, I did not think that the problem with this game with you guys was going to be that it was too hardcore.
Oh,
Like,
what did you think? I knew, I saw this. I was like, oh, this is a great game thing for Florence and I to get to talk about.
Right,
Yeah.
I just assumed that when I was not physically looking at you, you were playing this game. Like, I assumed that you and Michelle Drozdick were locked in a room somewhere,
Just playing.
just playing the game.
Playing
I
this
assumed that
game.
you would beat it on day one, and
I mean, I do enjoy beating video games, so that's a fair question. Like, it's a
Right.
fair assumption about me.
so you haven't downloaded this
I haven't
game at all.
downloaded it or looked at it yet.
I mean,
no.
it's
I mean,
free.
I also don't, but I don't have the things that I
No,
think
it's
you-
free.
I
It's
don't think
free.
I have the things you need to have though. Like you need a PC or a PlayStation, right? I don't
Yes.
have those things.
Yeah, then you can't. Then,
No, we're a Mac family and
Yeah.
we don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm a Mac.
Yeah.
So Florence, you
I'm a
can't
Mac person.
you can't play it either.
No, I'm so sorry. I can't
Okay.
have those weird little things chasing the cat while it's trying to jump
It's like
over.
the
like
cat's
a-
having fun and it's like lasers.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. My interactions with cats are like, hey, you want some tuna? And then I meow at it. I just
Yep.
meow.
Yep. Yep.
Like I can't
Oh,
then
we
go into
have-
a post-apocalyptic
Well-
cat world.
Yeah.
Well,
we-
I mean that's most people's most people aren't shooting cats with lasers. Like most people
Let's
aren't.
hope.
Well,
Their relationship is not
then tell these
post-apocalyptic.
designers.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no. Please. I'm sitting at home today. and
You know
it's
what?
like,
If it were like a bionic cat, okay.
right.
Then
a
you're
robot
on
cat?
board.
Then I'm on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do a robot cat. I can't do actual cat.
Yeah.
I can't. My heart breaks too much. I'm too much of a softie.
Mm-hmm. Same. Same. Same.
I
Same.
never wrote up the graphic for it. I'm already slacking on my thing. Do we want to move on to our next story then? Since people,
Sure.
I thought we're going to be
Is there
playing
anything else that I
this-
can see? No, there's nothing else to say. Like, there's no other details in the thing. But the cat is very, very cute. Oh, and it says that if you meow enough in the game, you get a little chatty trophy on stream. And apparently you can make the cat make different meows. Which I love that
Okay.
concept because those of us who know cats, we know that cats do in fact have different meows. And the more that they learn who you are, they use those different meows with you. And
It's true.
Yeah. It's very fun.
It's true.
It's very fun.
You actually can talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So topic number 2.
Oh boy. Excited.
All right. Topic number 2. Velveeta unveils new martini with cheese-infused vodka, garnished with pasta shell.
Right, because I always want pasta in my drinks. I always like.
Everyone, yeah. I want specifically the whatever that is, just the orange mush that is Velveeta. Because I've tried to explain Velveeta cheese to like especially growing up, like my European cousins, they know European cheese, and I was trying to explain like nacho cheese or this like soft cheese. And I was like, as I described it, I was like, it has nothing to do with cheese. I don't know what this is. Cheese. I don't know what this is. I remember being like, it comes in a plastic bag. You heat it up in water, and then you put a pump in it, and then it just like shoots out of the pump. And they're like, that's not, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, and it's like plasticky. It's like melty plasticky kind of texture. I don't know why we're eating this.
I think it literally is melted plastic. If I wouldn't.
But it is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't want that in your vodka?
Not on the vodka, on the crunchy chips. Crunchy chips.
For those who just want to see it, I do have.
Yeah.
Where does one get this? One
can get this. There's a couple different locations, but specifically BLT Steak, the franchise. Their restaurants are presenting it. So they have one on the east side, and they have one on 57th, East 57th, between like Madison and 5th, I think.
Right. I assume that they had a lot more people come in out of like weird curiosity for this.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the thing. It's smart marketing in a way because it's terrible, but think about like people are talking about it even if it's negative.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can garnish it just like you do mac and cheese. I'm sure you can put like broccoli.
Well, so
broccoli in your martini.
Fun fact.
Hey, we got olives in there. I don't see the difference.
Olives, yeah.
Vegetables.
So
no, olives and broccoli are different. But
they are different.
I'm gonna stop. Because
okay, you're gonna stop it.
Because I'll get crazy if we start pretending like olives and broccoli are in the same family. But it's fine. We'll move on. All right, continue. Whoever. I feel like I interrupted somebody with my rage.
Well,
so I apologize.
I was going to point out that I did not know this story was getting presented or that it was going to be a topic, but actually some of us went and tried this martini on Friday. We did it so y'all don't have to. Or for science, as I like to say. And science. I think we have footage.
We do. Before we play it, I do want to apologize that we ran out of time, so the video is sideways, but you get it.
You'll get it.
You'll get it.
It's a sideways video, but you can see the drinks and you can hear the responses.
Yeah.
So this is live.
Here we go. Velveeta cocktail. Here we go. Velveeta's coming.
Oh my god, it's so orangey. Oh, Pedro. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's like the
Leah's face.
Leah started crying after that. Like, not sobbing, but like her eyes started to water. And Pedro was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I just laughed so hard that Leah is just like, no, it's not. Yeah.
None of those reactions were good.
No.
None of them were good. I mean, they were good for us. They were not good for you.
And here's the thing about it that I will say. You know, the first like 2 sips when it was still chilled, literally me just going, it's fine. That's exactly how it was. It's like I sipped it. I'm like, this is kitschy. This isn't great. It's cheese. It's cheese vodka. The olives were really good. The shells were fine. But then it started to warm up. And that's when it turned nasty because it started to separate a little. And then I think it was Pedro who first pointed out that it sort of felt like when you're washing your dishes and like there's like cheese that you're soaking off. And then like that's all we could think of, that's what it felt like. As we got down to the last sips, I called the bartender over and because he kept checking on us because he knew. He was like, yeah, it's really bad. And he came over and he was like, can I help you with anything? Do you need a palate cleanser? And I was like, do you have any hot sauce? And he brought me hot sauce and I just dumped hot sauce in it and it helped a lot.
So like, you put hot sauce in your cheese martini?
Correct, I did. And then I drank it. And it was a lot better.
Because it only tastes like hot sauce?
Pretty much.
I hate that. I hate that visual because now I can't unthink that of like because when you see that cheese, you never think of it sitting in a liquid, watery liquid.
Right,
That's
you don't.
disgusting. That's when it's done. You're done with the bowl and you put it in the sink.
Right.
Ugh.
Yep. That's what it ultimately wound up feeling like. Julia is correct. I do love a hot sauce alcoholic beverage. So yes, this was par for the course for me to go, I know what can fix this. Hot sauce.
Something that makes me not taste it anymore.
And it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you say that it's good that we're talking about it. And I guess all publicity is good publicity. But like, I haven't heard any of us say a positive word about Velveeta or be more encouraged to be like, hey, I'm going to go get their mac and cheese from this.
I truly...
Okay.
Go for it.
Velveeta, if you get a chunk of Velveeta, I will say positive thing, and you get a can of Rotel, and you melt a big thing of Velveeta and Rotel, and you just like slowly melt it in a pan, and you have a big thing of chips, you'll be the hit of the party. It's such a good dip.
Ooh, now I want to try
if you haven't had it before.
That sounds great.
Okay.
No, I have not.
It's
sounds
awesome.
Lovely.
Yeah. And now I want it. So we'll see what happens after this.
Okay, so maybe it worked.
Then make those.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point too. Maybe that's part of it. Is like you're talking about how nasty it is, but you're like, but you know what, Velveeta, I do like. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
and
gonna crave it.
And I also, it gets
damn
it
it, they got
trending.
me. God damn it, they got
and
me.
It's so funny because, like, truly,
basic,
right?
God,
I posted a photo online of just like the drink, and so many friends started messaging me like knowing what it was. Like, it wasn't even like they were like, that looks like a weird cocktail. They knew exactly what it was. Like, my friend in Alabama
this is the first
was
I've
like,
heard of it.
What is this?
What?
Right? And I was like, oh, it's travel. Like, information about this is out there. Yeah.
I'm a bad judge for that because I spent all week on Reddit's News of the Weird and News of the Stupid looking for stories. So if a dumb thing happened, I know about it. Like,
you're gonna know about it.
Oh, Julia says it went viral on TikTok. That must be how.
Yep.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
And since I don't TikTok, I didn't know. I should.
I don't TikTok either.
Look,
you shouldn't. There's no should. Just let TikTok be for the TikTokers.
Kesha said it best. You're going to brush your teeth with a bottle of Jack, and then you're going to have the Velvet Martini, and you're never going back.
How am I going to know?
Velveeta Martini, not Velvet. You know what? That's a better name for it.
Velveeta, yeah.
How am I going to know what dances the kids are doing if I don't go on the TikTok?
Yeah,
I just don't.
That's a good point.
You just won't.
You just won't.
Great. So
you just won't. You're just going to see some weird moves on the sidewalk, and you'll have no context for it, and your day will be just fine. You're just gonna go, they're moving weirder than usual.
I mean, I hope you're right, Florence. I hope. I'm confident that you are, but I also hope that you're right.
TikTok has outlived, and I know I'm saying the TikTok, it's a bit
right on purpose, yeah.
But I guess it's outlived Vine though, because I remember when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is just Vine all over again. This is the same thing. But I think it's been out longer now.
Yeah, I think from my understanding, like the fact that they like licensed a certain amount of audio and things like that, that like
so that people can use it.
Yeah, I think that helped them a ton before everything else was just getting like pulled down.
That's so helpful. Yeah.
So, because originally it was like all about like sing along with this thing, or like because it was something before it was TikTok. It was like song something, like it was.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It had a different name before it was TikTok. That was like about singing along to things, and then it became
because that's like what some people use. Like we have a friend that has played piano for us that for Red Shirts that like he's like.
I'm sorry, you have a friend that just plays piano for.
Right.
Just imagining you.
Right, he just sits in the living room and plays piano for us whenever.
Come, Richard.
But he's played for us before, and he's now just gone viral on TikTok because he does those like sing along with me videos. And I guess a bunch of them caught on, and he's like got a ton of.
What's wild to me is how many people are viral, but on top of that, they actually can make money off of going consistently being viral.
Yeah,
that's what's interesting to me. Yeah, but then can you imagine if you like lose steam? You're like, go back to the workforce, and you're like, I guess you're going to go back in some social media capacity after that.
Yeah, and you're like, well,
that's your resume. That's all you do.
Yeah. Your resume is just like TikTok.
Yeah, I just do dumb things for 30 seconds that people really enjoy for some reason.
7 years of what? It was just like different ways to cheese.
Just different ways to cheese. Okay.
It
different
works.
ways to cheese. Just a totally cheese dedicated account.
Okay. All right.
Do we want to move on to our third our third weird story?
I think we're ready.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my story. I want to get my notes up.
Dustin's got notes.
I do have notes.
I had just
because you
life
guys read
experience.
from the article, and I have notes because I need the words to be big so I can see them.
I feel that.
Okay. So, if you've seen this show before, you know that I love when Japan does crazy shit. It is one of my favorite things. I love when Japan does like their weird, like, you know, like we had like the yogurt mold that was shaped like poo, and I was like, yay!
Right. I forgot about that one.
I was like, go nuts.
No, but there was the robot too. Was it a robotic pig or a robotic horse?
Yes, yeah, it was the
The
robotic
robotic
goat.
horse, yeah.
I think it was a. I think
Oh, it was a robotic goat.
It was a robotic goat.
Anyway.
This time you done me wrong, Japan.
Oh.
A company called, I think it's Itaki Corp, but I'm saying it wrong. And another company that I'm gonna get even worse are partnering together to create something called a vertical nap box to help people sleep in the office. And
Oh no.
before we get into it,
No.
before we do the story, I need to show the image because this is a rendering.
Upright coffin.
Right, it's
Yes.
It is just an upright
Yes,
coffin,
it
isn't
is.
Yeah.
It is basically an
Yeah.
upright coffin. This
no.
is the thing
Oh,
That's awful.
that they are saying. People are overworked. We want them to take a nap, so we're going to give them, as
A
you mentioned,
coffin.
a coffin
That's
to sleep
horrifying.
in during the day.
No.
Like, and they like. I'm just going to keep this up because you need to be seeing it, like during the horrific nature of this story. Because they say in Japan, a lot of people. The quote from the guy who helped design it says, in Japan, there are a lot of people who lock themselves up in the bathroom for a while, which I think is unhealthy. It's better to sleep in a comfortable location. How is this a comfortable location?
Wait.
How is standing up
Wait.
a comfortable location?
it looks like there might be a ledge on the inside.
Also,
Right.
Julia-
Well, yes.
Julia, great point. Why do they need to sleep upright like a bat? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
They go on to say in the article
It feels like real estate.
yeah, the Napbox users will sleep in a pod like a flamingo, standing upright. The initial design has been made to ensure that the head, knees, and rear are comfortably supported so the person will not fall over. But why? Okay, also, why put it on legs to make it
Why put it on legs?
easier to fall over?
Who's like, do you know who sleeps upright real well? Flamingos.
Right.
Let's go ahead and do that. But for people.
Just to say you want a person to be comfortable and then say
Yeah, I'd like you to be comfortable.
Right.
Here you go.
the solution isn't work less. The solution
Yeah,
isn't have a
right,
better
right.
life
Yeah,
balance.
Have a better work-life balance. No, sleep in an upright
It's-
coffin like the
Right.
flamingos do.
Yeah.
And you could turn it on its side and then lay down. I don't understand why you can't just turn it 90 degrees and at least lay down. Like, why do you have to be standing? It's just
Just
saying
leave it on its side.
torture.
Just leave it out in the dumpster.
Right. Like, Japan,
It's
I'm
his-
sorry, but no.
Also, I
No.
want to go back to what you were saying, Dustin, about the fact that the designers thought that because people locked themselves in bathrooms for a long time, they needed this to nap. You don't know what they're doing in the bathroom.
Right, but I think the
They might not
assumption
be
was
napping, they might be pooping. Who
I think
knows?
but we've all done the like, I don't want to be working right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the
take a
bathroom.
break.
Yeah.
Take a bathroom break.
Right. And what are you going to do about it? I'm in the bathroom. You can't tell me not to go to the bathroom, but I'm just going to fucking hang out in here, play a couple of rounds of a game that I have on my phone, or read a bunch of, like, look at a bunch of things on Instagram and just, So I think
It's terrifying because also
It is terrifying.
you need air. You need fresh air.
Mhm.
And you're just capsulating yourself
This is
into a tiny this is the worst.
I have talked before about having like claustrophobia about certain
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things. That is the kind of claustrophobia right there.
A nightmare.
Right there. That is a
Nightmare.
literal nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like when
No.
people say they want to go in like the deprivation chambers where they're like, I can have total
Mhm.
darkness. I'm like, no, thank you.
Right, but at least with those, like,
It's open
You're-
space.
yeah, and you're lying
it's
down.
supposed to be open space.
Like-
right.
Yeah, and you're floating. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In deprivation chambers, it's like salt water. So it's like a foot or so of salt water. You can just float.
So it's slightly less
I just
terrifying.
did one.
Oh, did you like it?
It was, the weird thing was walking into the room and the door to go into the chamber looked like you were entering, it looks like you were gonna pull a heist in a bank, because it was like a vault door. Like, it was this really intense vault door. But then you touch it and it's plastic. You're like, oh, thank God. Because there was a moment where I was like, I'm not going in here. If this is actual metal, no. I'm not doing this. This is how I go. It's some weird freak has set this up, and I'm not here for it. But yeah, it's just this like plastic door that's just like very thick, has this like big handle, and it looks like you're going into a bank vault.
Weird. That's so weird.
That is not what
it's very weird. And then you open it, and it's just like this big white room that's like all plastic, really cool LED lights. They have like little stars on the ceiling, and you can do your audio. They always recommend the audio, but you can turn the audio off and just go completely silent and float.
Wow.
Isn't like, anytime I've seen like a version of it on TV, which I'm sure is different than the thing you experience, it always seemed like the water was like right here. So like you were just about to drown.
And it's also so salty. So you have to like put lip balm on and make sure you don't have any cracks in your skin, because and you can't have it like go in your, because it'll just like burn, because you need to float. You don't want to sink in the water. You need to float.
Right. I would always just be terrified that like, I'm relaxed and I fell asleep and then I drowned.
Yeah.
Like that would.
But you can't really, because the salt water it's so buoyant. You can't. Your head doesn't go anywhere. Oh, they also give you a ring thing for your head to float up a little bit.
Oh, that's
okay. So you have a head floaty?
You have a little head floaty.
Julia,
you do have a little help.
Julia is
no, absolutely not.
On board.
I know. It is terrifying, like especially if you don't like being quiet with yourself. I don't know if you have problems with that. I feel like the pandemic took care of that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we had to face our fears there.
Quiet I can deal with. It's like, it's the darkness.
I can too now.
So I think the fact that you said
have
that
lights
there's
on
lights,
if you want.
I like that. Now I'd be I'd be a lot less terrified. There's something about like complete darkness in a small, like feeling like that's the thing that gets me. So with the lights, that'd be okay.
It's nice. It's nice. I don't need to go back necessarily. I didn't get that much from it, but like, it was a nice gift to get and really fun to try. And they gave you free, really soft socks, which I'm now wondering. I haven't seen those socks in a very long time. I wonder where they are.
The cat got them.
The cat got. They were trying to escape the laser, the laser droids.
So it's like I can slide on the floor with these.
You know what? That cat can have him. Do you, cat? Survive.
Yeah.
How do we want to move on? Do we want to move on to what the fact?
I think so. I may never recover from this, though.
Yeah, no, that we're... Yeah.
This thing is awful.
Japan, what are you doing, man?
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? And like you said, Dustin, just let people, like, work less.
Right.
Let them rest.
You know, it also reminds me of, like, why they put dogs in. What are those?
Like a kennel?
For a home. A kennel? It's like the little...
dog house or kennel.
Yeah, like crate. A little... You're like, oh, you're working too much? You go into this little kennel?
Yeah.
Before we move on to what the fact, because I always forget to do this, if you're watching, please like and subscribe, because that helps us out a ton. And put comments in the comment section and all that, but definitely liking helps us a ton. It lets other people know that the content is fun, and it lets us know that you're enjoying it. So if you can, like and subscribe, that would be wonderful. All right. Moving on to our next section. What the fact?
Oh.
Mozart. Because we're starting classy, people. We're starting classy. Mozart wrote a song with which of these titles, and we immediately go from being classy to not classy. Did he write a song called Kiss Me in My Pants? Did he write a song called Lick Me in My Ass? Or arse, but I don't want to say that. Or Put Love in Your Mouth. One of these songs is an actual song that he wrote.
Oh my God.
I was going to play the actual music to it, but I was having an issue. But I can't do it because of the issue that we have with playing the other video.
Can I say my guess?
Yeah. Yeah, please, you go first. You go first.
So in German, Küss mich am Arsch is a saying. Mm-hmm. So it's like, kiss me in the ass.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess B.
You're going to guess B. You're going to think that your argument is that Mozart probably came up with that? and it became a thing.
I think that was a saying, and that he like already wrote it.
Okay.
And he wrote it off of that saying.
Okay. Heather, what do you think? In chat, of course, we want to know what your opinions are.
I mean, Julia pointed out there was, in fact, a City Hall sketch involving Mozart with dirty.
Okay.
Dirty.
So do you know the do you know the answer to this?
Well, remembering what that song was,
Mm-hmm.
and also Florence, you've sold me.
Yeah.
I'm going with B as well.
Okay.
Because I also,
I hope everyone that thinks it's "Lick Me in My Arms."
Yeah.
The actual answer, you were right. It is that.
Yes.
I could have played it for you guys, but everything got all screwed up.
Oh no.
So some other time.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's "Leck Me am Arsch." It's like my dad used to say that growing up.
So funny.
I wish this was Slumdog Millionaire, because I would totally. Let's discover
like,
what weird shit I actually know.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right, well, let's get into number 2 and see if it's somehow magically Slumdog Millionaire for question number 2. Come on. In addition to his famous cookies, what else did Wally Amos of Famous Amos Cookies do that you may have heard of? Was it that he was a talent agent who discovered Simon and Garfunkel and represented Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye? Was he the person who produced the theme song to Mission Impossible, or was he the person who provided the initial funding for the Church of Scientology, making that possible to begin with? One of these is true, but which one? Heather, I'll go to you first. But Chad, I'm very curious as to what your opinions are as well.
I don't know the answer to this, or like have an idea.
Okay.
But I want it to be A, so I'm gonna go with A.
You want it to? Why do you want it to be A?
That's cool. That's like super cool.
I want it to be A because it's so detailed.
Yeah, which actually, as Joy is saying in the chat, A
is so specific.
So A. Julia also wants it to be A.
Also, Joy, I meant to answer your question. It means like "Leck me am Arsch." It just means like kiss my ass, essentially. But because direct translation means like lick me in the ass. Really.
I can hear Joy laughing at that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I'm going to go with A for this.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to go with A also because just the name Wally Amos sounds like an agent. So I'm like, that tracks.
Are you familiar with Famous Amos? Famous Amos Cookies?
The cookies?
The cookies, yes.
Yeah.
Like the best cookies, yeah.
I don't remember how good they are, but I do remember them in my life. And I think they were decent. Yeah, I don't think it's the Mission Impossible song timeline-wise, because I feel like Famous Amos has been around too long, and that would be like that would be a wild career transition. And then provided initial funding to make the Church of Scientology possible. I don't remember when that one, Everyone Knows B&C were done by Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's true. It's Tom Cruisey. You know what? We gotta leave Tom Cruisey in the cruisy way. So I agree. I think it's A.
Okay. And you all right? It is in fact A. He did discover Simon and Garfunkel.
What a cool! Oh my god! That also makes me feel good about eating the cookies.
Yeah.
Because if it was Scientology, I was now going to be like, well, I can never eat these cookies again. I'm going to feel real bad about that.
Yeah. Which brings us to our third and final question from What the Fact, which is the Tour de France, which I believe is just finished or is currently happening, has a team dedicated to doing what specific test? This is all they do. Do they clean up after riders defecate themselves while on their rides, which is a thing that happens far more frequently than people realize?
No.
Do they have a team of just metal detectors looking for tacks and pins, trying to pop people's tires along the way? Or do they clean up penis graffiti along the route? Florence, I will go to you first. Again, knowing that one of these is in fact true, that there's a team whose whole job it is to do one of these things.
I feel like that's unfair to have a whole job dedicated to the riders who are voluntarily riding and defecating themselves.
Somebody's got to do it.
I do think the most useful thing would probably be to metal detect tacks and pins along there. But I don't know. I've never seen it or heard of it either. Clean up penis graffiti on the route? I don't think so. I think we're moving too fast to even notice the penis graffiti. I think we zoom right by. It's a blur.
It's gotta be
Oh my God. I want to say B, but I also feel like it might be A. I'm just going to say B. I'm just going to lock it in. We're just going to lock it in.
Okay. B. Did you bring up Keith's comment about the pants keeping the poop in?
I sure did.
I mean, they are tight pants. Keith, I will give you that.
And keep the poop in.
Yes. All right, so you're locking in B. Heather, what's your answer?
I feel like B is the correct answer because it seems like the most logical, the most useful. Like Florence says, the most useful. But boy, I really want it to be C because that's a great. Could you imagine that's your job?
Just go around fixing penis graffiti.
I clean up penis graffiti.
Joy's also. It looks like Joy's also going with B.
Joy's going with B.
Also, that would mean so many penises are being graffitied.
Right. But it also makes you wonder, like, is that a thing? Do you like ride your bike and like you take a second, so you stop and like, is there a secret challenge within the Tour de France?
Is it too distract? Like, yeah. They're like, how many penises did you see? 27. I saw 28.
Right. Is it like you mark your marking your distance, except you mark it with like distance?
Yeah, distance.
Yeah.
Boo. I should be able to turn something off here. The actual answer is in fact C.
Yes!
It is graffiti.
Yes!
They try and turn them into owls and butterflies. So,
oh my God, this is so sweet that they, instead of removing them, they just turn them into owls and butterflies.
Right. Which makes for a fun game next time if you ever end up watching the Tour de France.
Funny.
Wow. Owls and butterflies.
Owls and butterflies. That's what you're looking for.
I will be Googling this afterwards so I can see, because I really want to see this.
Now all owls and butterflies will be like, your baseline is a penis.
Right. Yeah.
Julia.
Your base outline is a penis.
Julia coming through with the logic, which is because of TV coverage.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right, but to your guys' point from earlier, it strikes me as odd that anybody would be able to see, like, given how fast they're going. But
it is.
But maybe like.
But there's a lot of aerial shots. There's a lot of aerial shots
of like you're just fixed on the shot and you're waiting for them to go by. So you'd probably be like.
And there's a lot of teenagers in the world who want to see their mark on TV. You know.
Yeah.
If I could give a comment an award, I would give that comment an award.
What is the comment? I can't see what it
does
says.
a penis owl tell you how many licks it takes to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll?
God.
That's a great comment.
That didn't even come up in my version of this.
Julia says, and the French love penises.
They do.
Love penises. Owls and butterflies. All hours. Owls and butterflies.
So fun game for everybody.
If I ever go to France now and I
learned a lot. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Same, Dustin.
I try and help wherever I can.
Good what the fuck today.
My life has improved. My life has improved.
Which brings us to our final category, or our final thing is, would you rather? Heather, do you want to?
Yeah.
You want to give us our first would you rather?
I will indeed. Okay. It is 900 AD. You are about to get in a fight. Would you rather have a weapon but no armor, or armor but no weapon? Florence, as the guest, you always get to tackle this question first. So weapon and
it's
no
900.
armor. 900
it's 900 AD.
So think about
Right. That date was chosen because it was pre-guns. So if that helps. It means the other person couldn't have a gun.
I think I would say weapon, no armor. I need to be able to take on the offense, because your armor will eventually slow you down, and it can eventually, like, there's just too many weak spots in armor. It's not going to actually help. You need a weapon. And you're agile. I think a weapon's the way to go. I think that's my survival technique right there, is to leave the armor behind. Just find a way to get at my opponent. Yeah, makes sense.
Joy and Julia are with you. Dustin, what about you?
I mean, I always feel like I have to play the opposing voice in these sort of things, because I feel like Heather's going to go with the weapon as well. But the armor thing here's how I view it. I view it the same way that I view when people try and kick in a fight. It's like, if you've ever been in a fight and somebody tries to kick you, I am so thankful when they try and kick me, because everybody who's not the Karate Kid is bad at it. So you can grab their leg and then you own them. So
that's very funny.
So I look at it as a situation like, if you, let's say like you're a knight in this scenario, right?
Yeah.
If you're a knight in this scenario, then like you know that you have like 3 weak points in your armor. So the point is to just be like, okay,
or like 20.
Yeah, but like, but like back in the because I did a bunch of research on this kind of thing. For knights, like for the most part, if you had anything other than a dagger, you couldn't harm a knight, because their armor was so strong that like before like people got real good at arrows, for like the way that you would kill a knight is that you would knock them to the ground and then have like their small amount of like areas where they can actually get stabbed, and then you would dagger them. So if you had the armor, basically you'd have to be like, okay, I'm not going to let you hit one of like the 3 places, and then as soon as you try and swing, like then I'll just take your weapon from you, and then I have both. So
I see your tactics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would go with armor.
Yeah.
Cause
you're hedging your bets on the fact that you'll eventually get a weapon.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming in this scenario that like I will be able to take a bunch of extra shots. Like I'm kind of taking the Rocky approach, because like Rocky won every fight that he ever won by being like, just hit me until you get so tired that I can hit you back. So like that's I'm going Rocky for this. So I'm gonna go with armor and no weapon. Heather?
So it's funny, Dustin. I'm less definitively weapon than I think you think that I am.
Okay.
I will say that ultimately I decided to go with weapon, but I was really on the fence about this because I have like bad depth perception, and I'm bad at throwing things. Any game that involves like, other than bowling, I'm good at bowling. I don't know why, but I am. But like the baseball, anything where they're throwing things at you and I have to hit them, I am so bad at it. Kickball, all of it, so bad. So I think to myself, like, I'm not going to be good with a weapon. I'm going to like try and shoot an arrow at someone, and I'm going to be really bad at it. So the armor, I was like, I would do the armor. But then I started to think about all the like armor rusts. It's got a lot of weak spots. And I was like, what are the real weapons that existed back then? And it's kind of like dagger, knife, arrow, blade. And then I was like, I could probably get a knife and do some damage, because like you don't have to throw it. Basically, I don't want to have to throw weapons, but if I was like in hand to hand, I think I could like stab some people.
Okay, I believe you could.
So thank you. So I've decided to go with weapon for that reason.
Yeah.
Also, I'm fast. So like, while I can't say that I would outrun someone forever,
I think it speaks. I think it speaks a lot to what we think we're like our strengths are. Like I've handled bow and arrows. Like I'm pretty skilled with a weapon. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I'm pretty skilled with weaponry, but I don't have so much practice with armor. So just it's a personal choice, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have so many questions about it. All right, do you want to move on?
And 2 in chat.
Yeah. So I think I have the next question, right?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Okay. So would you rather live for a week in a porta potty for 2 months in your car?
Or 2 months in your car. Yeah.
Or 2 months in your car. Yeah. Would you rather live in a porta potty for a week or for 2 months in your car?
Who do you want to go first?
I'm gonna let Heather go first this time.
I have questions.
Okay.
Can you turn the car on and like use the air conditioning or the heat?
Well, I think it's make your own rules. So yeah.
So okay. And great. And can you get out and use a toilet, or do you have to shit in your car?
Well, I think living in one of these things, it's just like your house, right?
Yeah.
Right. But you're not required to poop in your house. You just choose to. So like in theory.
You choose to. Yeah.
So as chat is lighting up, although Keith would like to know, all porta potties are used, even when they're not.
All porta potties are used. So it's a week of your life in a porta potty, or 2 months in a car.
I'm gonna go with 2 months in a car because I don't like spending 30 seconds in a porta potty. It's always a terrible experience. It's always hot. It's always disgusting.
Yes.
Even in winter, they're hot. I don't know why, but they are. They're never clean.
They are. They're never okay.
They're never clean.
No.
I don't need to. No. Car, like, yeah, it's your car. It's cramped. It's not gonna be comfortable, but if I can turn on like the cooling or the heating or whatever, I can play some tunes. I'll deal with it.
You're good to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Dustin?
I am.
There is doubt.
No. I'm going with Heather on this one. I feel like the car is a pretty easy one for me. Like my sister has a pickup truck, and she's got like one of those like backs of the pickup truck, so it's like a cabin kind of thing, because she goes mountain climbing and she has to drive to someplace that's far away and then doesn't have time to drive back home. So she just like has a mattress in the back of it and sleeps there and all that. And I feel like, yeah, I'll just do that. Like, and the bathroom part would suck, but like, all right, I'll just park the car in like an IHOP bathroom or like a Starbucks like parking lot or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, just because your point from earlier, like a porta potty I can't handle like using a porta potty for the small amount of time.
It sucks.
So yeah, no, I think that would be it's too upsetting.
And think about it. It feels a little bit like that, like the Japanese napping tube that you showed us before. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I also feel like, to your point, Heather, about even 30 seconds would be too much in a porta potty. I feel like porta potties like bend time. Like once you go inside of it, you're just like holding your breath. There's like everything about you is just like every second in here is so much longer than a second outside.
Right, because you think of it and you're like, you really aren't there for very long.
Yeah, you're entering fight or flight.
You
the
are.
moment you go in.
Yes.
Your body gets tense and you're just like, I can't let anything touch the walls. Or like I can't let my pants
I don't want to touch anything.
My ankles. I have to hold them up higher than usual. Like everything in you is like preserve, no touch.
And then it's always
your
got
air in your mouth.
That weird like stick that's supposed to be for soap. I don't know how that works.
And
how
then
is that supposed to work?
There's the bucket for men to pee or for
What is the bucket thing? What is it? Yeah.
And I'm like, now it's beside me and I have less space. And then it's only like a pump of like antibacterial. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Yeah.
But I will say there was a porta potty one. The nicest porta potty I've ever been to was I was in Sydney, Australia, and I was looking at I was in the Sydney Opera House like area, and they were blocking it off for people to watch the fireworks for New Year's. And these porta potties had like running, like there was like a hand fountain that looked like a fountain, and like running water was just coming out of it, so you could just like wash your hands outside. The porta potties were like beautiful, like pump, you like could run the water, and I was like, oh, this is a different level. So I will argue for the porta potty in the sense that there are luxury porta potties out there, so we can always change the rules. And a week in a luxury porta potty I can do.
All right.
Twist.
I had one. I think they were called like Star Trailers or something like that. And those, like, there was literally like,
that sounds sad.
There was like carpeting in the bathroom. Like it was like fancy.
It's weird. Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you would put carpeting in a bathroom, because
why would you put carpeting in the bathroom? Come on.
Right, you wouldn't. But I think it was their way of being like, no, we are so clean that you could put carpeting in the bathroom and it's fine. Even though I don't know any other person or any other place that would ever like do that because of what happens in a bathroom. But you know, there are to your point, there are some nice ones, but all right. So have you answered your own question though, or are you?
Well, I think I argued myself into that one. I think I was like, oh, a fancy porta potty, I can do that for a week. I'd rather not be in a car for 2 months. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
But a side of the road porta potty, or like a
oh hell no, hell no, I'll be in my car for 2 months. Oh hell no. Yeah.
All right. Which brings us to our final, as I mentioned before, very, very childish question. about having ridiculous names that you can have. Before I present the names, the basic idea is that you have to have this name. It's okay. Like, I know that these are all male names, but just, for the purposes of this, imagine, and everybody has to call you it, and everybody, like, it's on your driver's license.
The whole name. Okay.
The whole name every time.
Okay.
So if you had to choose, oh crap! Hold on. Because there are 3. I have 2 graphics. Would you want to be Seymour Cox, bend over, or erection?
Holy hell!
I will go. I will go to you first, Florence, because you are our guest.
Erection
would
be the name. Just because if I'm gonna do one, I want to do the most creative one, and that's the one that stood out to me. Just did not. Seymour Cox, classic. Bend over, erection, incredible. Okay. I really appreciate that. That's where I would go, erection.
Okay, but if you could be Seymour Cox the third, would that make a difference? No.
No. Okay. I'm gonna stay with erection.
Okay. The chat's got a bunch of different opinions.
We've got a lot of thoughts in chat.
Benjamin Dover. Oh my god.
Benjamin Dover. Julia's with Seymour Cox. Yeah.
Hello, Andy. By the way, I did not see you in chat. Heather, what about you?
I gotta go with my friend Julia there. I like Seymour Cox. I think that's great. It's a classic. It's so funny. It's just delightful. Seymour Cox. It would not bother me if people were like, "Hey, what's up, Seymour Cox?" I would be like, "Yep, I did," or so. I love it. But
I just want all of these 3 in a classroom together.
Yes, please. That would be amazing. Right, Julia? It makes you get me too. It's just there's something very joyous about it that I'm just like, yes, Seymour Cox. I do like erection though, because I agree that one's super clever, and I love a good filthy clever pun. So I do like that one a lot too.
Yeah. Okay. And I think people would skip over it in their minds. Like, I don't think they would it wouldn't be until you
it would be a slow
say it out loud.
Where someone would be like, my name's Eric. Oh, that's so nice to meet you, Eric.
It hit me late. Right. Like, I could look at it and be like, I don't see it. Eric and then you say it out loud and you're like,
yeah. And then you just go, oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that reaction.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm with you guys on this one. I think erection is probably the way to go, because you can you'll sneak it by like half people. Like, bend over, you're not getting by anybody.
Bend over feels like the one that, like, ever since you're a kid, you hear people make jokes about, like, yeah, bend over.
Right.
Like, I used to hear that joke before I even really knew what it meant.
Exactly.
Seymour Cox I never used to hear, which is why maybe we need to be Seymour Cox.
I mean, admittedly, back in the day, it was Seymour Butts.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Was the more
I do
prevalent
Seymour Butts.
Like when you were in school before. Yeah. But I'm still going with erection. So that's what we got, guys.
Keith,
that's our.
Look at Keith again.
Amazing.
Keith says if you were named after your dad, they distinguish you from your dad by calling you Big Erickson and Little Erickson.
I love that.
My God.
It's an excellent point. It's an excellent point.
Who knows Keith? Keith is great. Keith, loving you in this chat. So funny.
Yes, please.
Come back.
Please come back and
come back.
enjoy the show with us.
Erection Junior.
Petite erection. Oh my God.
So that Keith Bass. That brings us to the end of our show. Which is what, Florence, where can people while I get to the right buttons, where can people find out more about you and what you're doing and check out all the things that are Florence?
All the things that are Florence. In terms of social media, Florence KF on Instagram. That's where I keep everything. I post everything. I do it all in the stories. I'm on an Armory House team that I love. That's a lot of Fridays throughout the month, so you can keep out for that. I do the Shame Show, which I love hosting with Paris Adkins. I've been doing that for like 4.5 years now. And that's with the Squirrel Theater at Under St. Mark's, which is listed right there. Mm-hmm. And then I just got cast in a short play by Ariel Beth Klein, whom I love, a great writer and performer. And I'm in her short play with one other talented actor. I'm very excited. And that'll be going on August 10th through the 14th, and then 17th through the 21st, 8 p.m. And that's called Building Blocks. So keep an eye out. I'll be around. I'm always around and doing indie shows and singing. I also sing. So it's all over. I'm everywhere.
Nice.
In my life. In my own life, I'm everywhere.
Like every scene. Like every single scene.
I mean, I can't get, yeah. Attention, hon.
Heather, what do you got coming up?
This Saturday, Leah Evans has written a musical based on Batman with all Avril Lavigne songs. It's called Batperson, Turn on the Light, and I will be in that. It is at 8:00 at Young Ethel's.
And I didn't make a graphic of that one. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I didn't warn you. You're fine.
Yeah, we'll figure out a better system for that going forward.
Oh, good. It's gonna be real silly.
And then for me, I don't have a thing that I am coming up for, but before I do, make sure to follow Super Important Stuff on Instagram, where we tell people what the guests are coming up and all those sorts of other fun stuff. But what I'm going to promote is actually a place that you can perform if you would like, because the Armory is currently holding auditions for Armory Sketch. And they're looking for writers and actors. And when this show is done, I will put the links to both of those things in the chat below so that you can go out for it. Writer submissions are due at the end of the month, so they're coming up very soon. You need to write 3 sketches, and we'll see what we like. And performers are submitting by the 13th, and it's just a 1-minute video of a character that you enjoy and a couple of other questions. So check out the form, and you can be part of Armory Sketch with me, because I think I'll be doing it. I'm pretty sure.
Great plug if you're not.
Right? Yeah, it's a weird plug if I'm not. But so please check that out. Which brings us, unfortunately, to the end of our show. Once again, Florence, thank you so much. You were an amazing guest.
Thank you for putting me on the Super Important show. I finally feel super important.
You are.
Yeah.
And Heather, thank you for being awesome and being in the room with me.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
And y'all have a good night, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Good night.